This is Seth, keeping it real. I hope your day is going really well so far. Today I'm excited because I get to talk to you about one of the most important things for reaching success as an entrepreneur, especially if you're selling on Amazon. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you sort of a Jedi mind trick that actually works, not in controlling someone else's thinking, but in actually controlling your own so that you can really get the most out of this principle I'm going to talk about. Now, the principle is simply this. It is time management. I want to show you how you can get more done in less time. If someone approached you and said, hey, I'm going to help you get 2 more hours out of every day, would you want that? I've never met a single person on the planet Earth, with the exception of someone who's very depressed, who didn't want 2 more hours in the day. 2 more hours a day is thousands of hours over the years, and you actually end up adding years to your life, not in longevity of how long you live it, but the time that you have with what you have. See, here's what's funny. Everyone has the same amount of time. So the problem is never, do I have enough time? The only question is, what do you do with the time you have? You can be president of the United States. You could be a millionaire. You could be working at McDonald's. You could be in prison. It doesn't matter. You have the exact same number of hours every day, and you have control over how you spend that time with you. And this is why the most successful people in the world put a huge premium on their time. In fact, if you ask, hey, will you coach me? It's expensive if it's on the hour. Why? Because they value their time. You can't get a refund on your time. There is no way to go back and refund it. Therefore, if you're working with someone and they say, look, I value my time, that is a smart person because they are valuing their most precious asset. And by valuing time, they can have more money, they can have better relationships, they can have better health, they can do things that they couldn't do otherwise. So time management, in my opinion, has got to be the most important self-discipline when it comes to succeeding as an entrepreneur. Tracy, who is the author of Eat the Frog First, said this: as you learn to master your time, you simultaneously master your life and take complete control over your future. So today I'm just going to give you 2 do's and 2 do nots. And these have served me so very well in my experience as an entrepreneur. Do number 1, here it is: automate. By automate, I mean those kinds of tasks that you have to do every day that are monotonous. Find a way for them to become automatic so you are not personally, manually doing them yourself. When I started renting out condos here in Austin, I realized that there was a lot of tedious work involved. And I realized even though the money was very good and we were netting $20,000 after the first 6 to 7 months on just one condo, we realized, we need to do something with this. So what I did is I hired someone to clean them. Now, I pay this person $500 a month to clean these condos. And you might think, well, man, you're losing $500. That cuts into your profit. It really does. But think about it. If I take the $500 and I compare that to the time it saves me, which ends up being around 15 to 20 hours a week, that is a very good trade-off if I value my time highly. Because with that extra 15 to 20 hours a week, I can take that time and use it to go get another condo and another one and another one. And we did this until we had 6 condos. There's no physical way I could keep scaling what I'm doing if I didn't automate the cleaning process. So even though I dropped $500 a month, I was able to add on another condo and then another one. And you might say, well, then don't you have to pay someone more the more condos you add? Yes, absolutely. But think about it. I can keep scaling and scaling and scaling. There's no limit now, because it's not using my time anymore. As long as I have a good cleaner and I've set up everything for them, now it just runs like a machine and it keeps putting money in my bank and I have to do very little. So remember, the temptation is going to be, well, wait, it's going to cost me money. If I buy this program like Cash Cow Pro or Feedback Genius to do the automatic emails on Amazon for me, it's going to cost me money. That's true, but think about the time it saves you. If you were to add up the emails you send every day and you added that up over a year in time and it took all that time and had spent it instead on finding 20 other products, think about how much richer you would be because you spent the 20 or 40 or 50 a month for that one program. So that is why automation is so important. It helps you to value your most precious asset, which is your time. Second do for managing your time and really getting the most out of your day is you need to delegate. Automate means creating a system for something to be done for you automatically. Delegate is for one-time tasks that someone else can do as well or better than you. So for example, let's say you are trying to create the packaging design for your new product you're going to be shipping out via Amazon or eBay or Instagram or your own e-commerce website. It is a much better use of your time to actually pay someone or go to Fiverr.com or Upwork.com and have someone else do that for you who does that for a living, especially if you're not a designer by trade. And even if you are, if you can find someone who's at least as good at as you are and pay them $50, $100 to do that design packaging so you can spend your time finding more products, that is a very good trade. Because now, again, you have valued your time. Yes, you lose a little money there, but you'll end up making a lot more money. I cannot overemphasize how important it is to focus on valuing your time. Every second goes by right now, you can't get back. We just lost another second. We can't get it back. We just lost another second. We can't get it back. I know that's kind of a scary thought, and I'm not trying to freak you out, but let that freaky feeling drive you to value your time. It is so important. Being an entrepreneur is a war for time. It really is. Your biggest beast you got to face is not only facing our own insecurities and fears and conquering those, but the time we have. See, I'm spending time right now creating this video for you because I believe it is a valuable use of my time. I enjoy it. Helps me to know it better, enriches my life, enriches your life. And I think people are amazing. And so if we can find ways to help people, that enriches life for everyone. So for me, I'm going to feel very good after I did this video because I valued my time in that way. So we have the two do's. We have the automate and we have the delegate. Now there are two do nots. Do not, number one, do not multitask. Don't multitask. Multitasking is a curse word in my home. I just don't do it. I know some people claim I'm really good at multitasking, and I understand some people are really good at switching their brain from one thing to another. But numerous studies and tests have been done where they put a whole bunch of college students in one room and a bunch of college students in another room, and they were mixed genders. Therefore, it wasn't just guys versus girls, because I know there's a lot of talk about women being better at multitasking than guys, and that's fine. But they tested them. One group had to switch between doing two tasks back and forth constantly. The other group could only do one task. And they tested this over and over again. And the group who focused on doing one task at a time always performed better results and faster. Now, it's very hard to be anti-multitask in a social media world. I'm not against social media. I think it's great. But it's so much better to set aside blocks of time to focus on each thing you do than trying to do everything all the time. There's actually, people become addicted to constantly looking at their phone and checking Facebook or checking Twitter to a point where they really don't get that much done in the day. They got a little bunch of pieces of information, but not anything really done for themselves. You have to protect yourself from that. If you have to remove certain apps from your phone because you carry it with you all the time, do it. Don't let the urgent, and I say urgent because it's not really urgent, get in the way of the important. Because 50 years down the road, you're not going to look back and go, man, I'm so glad I checked Facebook. I'm so glad I checked Twitter. You're going to say, I'm so glad I built a business. I'm so glad I spent time with my loved one. I'm so glad I ate healthy. I'm so glad I had time and money to go to Italy to check out some of the beautiful sites, or Spain. You see? So that's another reason you just let go of multitasking. Do one thing at a time. Second, do not procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. Procrastination has almost become sort of a joke in American culture, but it's really bad, and I'll tell you why. We tend to procrastinate on the things that we don't enjoy doing, and usually oftentimes the things we don't want to do are the most important things, or the most important next thing that needs to get done so we can move on to the thing we really love. So Brian Tracy, and I credit him for this, by the way, I've been reading this book. It's an awesome book. I recommend you get it. It's called Time Power. He made such a great point. He said, look, if you're going to get up in the morning and you know you have tasks to do the hardest thing first. It will absolutely annihilate procrastination. And then the rest of your day is a lot easier. You have more energy, you have more focus because you took care of the beast. He calls it eat the frog first. I encourage you to Google or search on YouTube, eat the frog. It's an awesome video. I've watched that video many times. My daughter walks around chanting, eat the frog first. What are you doing, Allie? I'm eating the frog first. I love it. It's almost become part of the culture in my home. Do those things that you like the least first. And remember, there has to be something that you can't automate and you can't delegate. If I was in your shoes right now, what I would do after this video is I would take a pencil and a paper or, a computer and just write down every task you have to do in a day and ask this simple question. Can I delegate that? Can I automate that? Can I delegate this one? Can I automate this one? And for the ones that you can't, find out how you can do those that you don't like first in the day so the rest of your day is much easier. Okay, now for the bonus I was going to share with you, the little Jedi mind trick. It really works, and it's something you do on yourself. Try it. It really works, you guys. In the morning, when you wake up, after you've done whatever you need to do, eat breakfast, if you go on a walk, if you take time to think and pray, whatever you need to do to get your heart ready for the day, or do your workout, sit down, make sure there's no distractions around you, close your eyes, and imagine everything you need to get done today, and imagine doing it fast, and imagine doing it with joy, and imagine doing it efficiently. I guarantee you did that every morning, you're going to see a difference. It really works. What it does is it tells your mind, because imagination is what leads to action. People first imagine it, they think about it, fantasize about it, then they act on it. That's how some of the most amazing inventions have been created, by thinking, imagining what could a better world look like. Oh, we're going to create this machine to cut wheat faster. See, like they did in the 1800s. Just imagine it. Imagine yourself just barreling through your day at great lightning speed and with joy and having fun doing it. What it does is it tells your brain this is possible. And when you can actually visually see something in your mind, it's much easier to do it. They do this with athletes. Before they run the 100-meter dash, they imagine, okay, I'm going to do it at this speed. I'm going to come around this corner. I'm going to use this technique. I'm going to use this breathing. I'm going to lift my knees this high or keep my toes pointed this way. They imagine it first, and then they do it. I love to do chin-ups. I love to go outside, and I'll find a bar, horizontal bar, and I'll jump up and do chin-ups. And sometimes I will find a bar that's really high, that really wasn't intended to be jumped on. Like some of those swing sets can be way up there. And so I'll jump up and I'll graze it barely with my fingers, but not actually get it. So what I'll do is I'll stop and I'll think, okay, and I'll imagine myself jumping up and grabbing it. And it works. And I jump up and I grab it. I did this with my son. I told him, hey, just imagine it first, because he kept missing it. So he stopped, he imagined doing it, and then he jumped and he did it. Your imagination is powerful. This is called getting out of your head, where you use your imagination, your creativity to work for you instead of against you. See that? Hey, this is Seth. Can you keep it real? I hope these principles are really helpful for you managing your time. Value your time. And when you value your time, you can build wealth, and you definitely can succeed on Amazon. Take care. Have an awesome day. Bye.